How you doing? My name is Franklin Cruz. I'm a real estate developer. If you don't know who I am, I've been on the front page of the newspaper regarding some of our projects. And I actually was very blessed on a property that I sold to KB Homes that they named the street after my family, Cruz Court. If you ever want to check it out, 7187 Cruz Court in Lakeland, Florida is the first home that they built in that division. I've actually also have done several developments. I've probably done a little bit over 15 different developments and worked with even Habitat for Humanity on several projects as well. So my main focus today's video that you're going to learn, I want to go over, is 5 things you need to know before selling your land. So if you've got land and you want to sell your land, I'm like your buyer, right? So you want to know what I'm looking for, but at the same time too, you want to know how can you maximize the sale of your property, or how can you just sell it quickly? So this video, I'm going to do my best to kind of really dive deep and give you 5 simple ways that we can go over it. So we're going to kind of do it old school, which I love chalkboards. I remember being a kid learning in this class with a chalkboard. So first thing is, what is the actual zoning on your property? So do you actually know the zoning or what's possible? That's huge. Or is there a current zoning? What is it? Again, what is possible in the zoning? The other thing a lot of people don't have is they don't have studies on their land, conceptual plans. They don't understand, is there a wetland delineation? Is there a geotech on your property? Do you have any of these items? Because it's gonna make a big difference for a developer like myself from True Investors, that we need to know, can we actually build on this property? Can we do apartments? Can we do garden style? Can we do townhouses? What's possible on the actual site? Well, you couldn't even see that. So you've got to see garden style apartments, a property, a home, plenty of different type of structures. What's allowed on that property? You've got to know that. And if you don't know that, what's going to happen is I've got to figure that out, and it costs a lot of money to figure this out. Studies, it all matters how big your property is. If we're talking acres or just one lot or several lots, you never know if there's an easement that runs through it and then you can't even build on a property. I had that happen recently on a property off of Lincoln, that there's a huge easement that cuts off 2 of the lots. And so that has to decrease the price. We talked to the owner about it. He didn't want to decrease. So I was like, all right, fine. Well, the numbers don't make sense for us to move forward with it. I wish you nothing but the best. So that's one thing, understanding the zoning, what's on your property. Understand what is the market value. Land is interesting just because there's not a lot of developers, especially there's just not a lot you can get on the phone and have a conversation with, because developers, we don't do a lot of deals per year. We don't, like when I still purchase a lot of homes, and I love purchasing homes, because I get to actually have conversations and I just get to create win-win scenarios for people. When it comes to land, it's not that many pieces of land that we want to build on, just because it's extremely time consuming. It could take anywhere from a half a year to 2 years of your life to 3 years of your life to get a development going. I've got several properties, like for example, our office is sitting on a property, it's 9 acres of land, and we could build 96 units. So we're in that process, but it's taken 2.5 years to get there. It takes a lot of time. So if you want to take that much time, then you have to go through this process, and it can cost anywhere what they call approvals and entitlements. That means that you have to put your stage that you're in is that you're attempting to put a shovel in the ground. So that shovel that's going in the ground, you're gonna have to spend money and time in the studies. Or if you don't, you've got to find somebody like myself that we would do it. But it's got to make financial sense. It's got to be a win for you. It's got to be a win for me. It's got to be a win for the people that we're selling it to or renting it to. It's got to be an all-around win. And if it's not an all-around win, it's just not gonna work. So the other thing is this, prep your land. Is your land clear? Can I see everything? If I can't, now I've got to actually go through the property. We've got to see if there's wetlands. We've got to see if there's any issues. Was there any kind of activity for sinkhole activity or geotech we have to do? That means we're boring into the ground. It's called a boring study. You bore in the ground, and you have to make sure that the density that what they call compactual ratio of your land can actually sit a structure. If not, now we got to bring in fill dirt. So there's a lot of things that we have to do to see, can we actually even build on this property? The other thing is what I see, a lot of people sit on their property because you have to understand timing. So there's prepping your land, I'll just say prep. Now you gotta prepare, right? Then you've got timing. Timing of the market. So when it comes down to timing, what I see a lot of is that people want to sell their property, but they also want this high dollar amount, but they also have had the property for 10 years. So if you want to sell it, sell the property, make your profit and walk away. Or you got a bad investment. I've talked to an individual, he wanted $900,000, he put $600,000 into it. The land is not even worth $200,000. He got scammed on buying this land. He never got any of the studies, none of the conceptual plans got approved. Nothing that he wanted to get done could be done. He has no studies, he has no idea what's possible, and he doesn't want to spend another $200,000 on these studies to see what's possible. And the last thing is this, I'll close out with saying this, be open-minded. If you really want to sell your property and you want to maximize it, sit down with somebody like myself, a developer, and say what's possible on here. But you've got to be honest, you've got to be truthful, you've got to have integrity and say, look, this is what's going on with the property, this is what I need to walk away with, how do we create a win-win? And that's it. Hopefully this helps. Kill it, keep on doing your thing. And again, this is how 5 things you got to know before selling your land. All right, bye. If you like this, share, like, whatever. Bye.